Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 24. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. In the last verse, Bhagwan Krishna said, he who remaining as though indifferent is not shaken by the gunas. He who abides in himself, that the gunas alone are acting, he does not move from the vision of the self. So that, simply put, that person who has risen to the level of self, living in the self, he is not affected by the gunas. Because gunas are transacting business with gunas. His own gunas are transacting business with the world. That is also gunas. That is what Bhagwan said in the last verse. Verse 24. Samadukka suga swastagha samalotashma kanchanagha tulya priya priyo dhiragha tulya nindatma samstutihi. For this wise person, happiness or sadness are the obverse and reverse of the same coin. For him, a stone or a precious stone or gold, everything is the same. This wise person is not affected whether somebody praises him or criticizes him. For him, whether someone is dear or not dear, there is no enemy for this fellow. So it does not matter. What is this world? This world is nothing but pairs of opposites. Anything you say, there is an opposite is there. Life is a vicious circle also. The fortunate and unfortunate circumstances come in waves, like the sea, waves of the sea. It comes in alternating. It comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. There is no end till our life ends. So there is no point in getting elated or getting depressed. It will come. Whichever religion, people are shifting their religion from one religion to another religion, thinking thereafter there will be no sadness. Sadly, the truth is both happiness or sadness will come. Like waves, it will go on coming. A person who remains in the self is not affected by the sattva, raja, and tamo gunas. He maintains his calm in all situations and circumstances of life. For an average person like us, this may look almost impossible. How can a person remain calm in favorable and unfavorable circumstances? It looks almost impossible. But it is true. A person who has crossed this ego level of living, selfish living, remains calm in all situations of life. Simple example is sun rays getting refracted through the prism. Once you remove the prism, then you cannot see the VIBGR. You can see only a white light. Once the ego is removed, what is the prism? Ego is the prism. Once the ego is removed, then that person will start living in the self. That is the point. When you are in a roller coaster, people they want excitement. Everybody wants excitement in life. The best excitements are given by Bhagwan. He gives a problem, that is the best excitement. But not knowing that, we want a roller coaster ride. We go to some parks and then enjoy that ride. Till the time you get into that roller coaster and put the belt, you don't feel it. Once it starts moving, then it is very difficult to control the emotion. So the best way to keep yourself calm is to close your eyes. You close your eyes, then you don't feel that much excitement. You may feel slightly, but not that much. Swastaha, Bhagwan uses the word swastaha here. Life is a roller coaster ride. This wise person switches off his mind from the attachment of this world and he starts living in this self. Every attachment we have in this world is through the body, mind, and intellect complex, sense complex. If the body is not there, then where is the question of attachment? Once you die, you cannot take your fixed deposit to the other world. Bo- As long as body is there, you can go to the bank and you can claim your fixed deposit or your shares or mutual funds. Moment you die, where is the question of you are asking my fixed deposit? Gone, finish. So, as long as body is there, attachment is there. For ordinary people like us, spirit gets released only on death. Till that time, the spirit and matter are bound with the three chains. All of us know. The entire chapter is on that. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. We have chained the spirit and matter. Once the body is separated, then whatever happens to once the spirit is separated, whatever happens to the body cannot affect the spirit. This wise person removed the sattva, rajas, and tamas chains and released the spirit from the body. So whatever happens to the body, it cannot affect the spirit. It is a kind of death. You can say it's a kind of death for this person. Death of the ego. On the death of the ego, the person gets never affected. Once the ego dies, how does it matter whether it is sukha or dukkha, happiness or sadness? How does it matter whether it is a gold or a stone, ordinary stone? What will happen if the circumstance is favorable or unfavorable? How this person will get affected by somebody praising him or not praising him, criticizing him? He is above all because he has removed the chains, sattva, rajas, and tamas chains. He started living in the world of spirit. He has become merged with the self. So nothing matters for him. Whatever happens, it is happening to the body level. It's a kind of death. I told you, once you die, what happens if somebody comes and says in your house, this fellow is a great fellow? What will happen? That what this body will appreciate. You will be as cool as cucumber. Or somebody will take you and bury you under the earth. What will happen to the body? Nothing happens. Somebody puts fire on you. What happens? Nothing happens. Because spirit has got already released. Only when it is bound, then you will cry or you will react to that. Similarly, this person has, while living itself, he removed the spirit from the body. Separately living at the spirit level. Suppose, for example, you get an award in office. They gave you a gold coin, 25 grams gold coin, appreciating what a great work this fellow has done. And then when you receive the prize, somebody criticized you. This fellow is getting the prize only because he put muscat to his boss, and that falls in your ears. You really worked well, but somebody says, "I know how this fellow got this prize." You get angry. You went to your home. Unfortunately, there was no electricity. Extreme irritation. House itself looks like a oven. But due to extreme tiredness, if you have extreme tiredness, in the hot summer also you can sleep. You fell down and slept. Nothing affects you in the deep sleep. Whatever affects you in one plane of consciousness cannot affect you in the other plane of consciousness. So whatever prize you received, whatever criticisms you got, whatever happened, the happiness or sadness you had during your waking state cannot affect you in your deep sleep state because you slept well. Nothing you did not, during your deep sleep you know nothing. Whatever happened, you did not know anything about it. Similarly, in the deep sleep, You went to a zoo with family. After seeing a few animals, then you saw people were running helter skelter. One fellow was announcing in the mic, "Sorry, that one tiger has escaped from its enclosure. So please take care of yourself." He was going in a van and then he was announcing. So people were running here and there. You also started running. Unfortunately, you ran in a direction and the tiger was sitting there, exactly looking for you. Now you are panting. You don't know what to do. Immediately you climbed a tree. Since you are a hale and healthy fellow, the tiger thought, okay, good flesh is there, and I will have him for my breakfast. That's what it thought. So it started climbing the tree. Then from there you jumped into the well. That time your wife scolded you. "Yeah, 60 years, you are still falling from the bed. Useless fellow." That means you wake up to the real tiger of the house, and the dream tiger has vanished. Whatever happened in the dream state cannot affect you in the waking state. That is the point. Whatever happens in the waking state cannot affect you in the dream state. Whatever happens in the dream state cannot affect you in the waking state. Now, there are two planes of consciousness. One is living at the body level. That is one plane of consciousness. You suffer all the things. Somebody criticizes, somebody praises, gold, etc., or happiness, sadness. Living at body level is one plane of consciousness. God has also given us a choice. Bhagwan Krishna has given you a choice to live at the self level, spirit level. That is a different plane of consciousness. If you are living in the self, then it's a different plane of consciousness. Whatever affects the body, it cannot touch you. If you are living in the body level, then whatever is getting affected, self will not be affected by that. We are all living in dream state. We are unaware of the self and suffering all the pains and pangs of life. The wise person is awake to the self, and hence being living in a different plane of consciousness, the dream state cannot affect him. Hence Bhagavan says, the one who has awakened himself to the self, swastaha, nothing affects him, whether it is pain or pleasure, gold or stone, it does not matter for him. Pleasant or unpleasant circumstances does not matter for him. Whether somebody criticizes him or praises him, he remains calm. He does not get elated or depressed by what others say about him, because he is living in a different plane of consciousness. That is self. That is what Bhagavan says in verse 24. Again, verse 24. Samadukka suga swastha samaloštashma kanchanaha tulya priya priyo dhiraha tulya nindatma samstutihi. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Harihom Sarvam Krishnarpnamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana